The freedom of a people to choose its leaders is the root of liberty.
Keep alive this experiment in liberty.
Liberty, in case you've forgotten, is the soul's right to breathe.
Government should be very minimal in protecting liberty.
Peace cannot be purchased at the cost of liberty.
The sturdy ground of liberty.
Liberty once lost is lost forever.
Fight for their liberty and for our security.
Guarantees individual liberty.
This great republic, born alone in liberty.
Liberty.
Liberty. Liberty.
Liberty.
Liberty.
Liberty. Liberty.
Just how much do you want liberty?
This is Liberty Nation with Tim Donner,
a production of LibertyNation.com.
cutting through the double talk, taking on the topics, going after what the politicians really mean, and making it all clear. For your freedom and your liberty. Liberty Nation with Tim Donner.
The Media Matrix. What if everything you know is fake? That's the name of a new book by Frank Mealy, columnist at RealClearPolitics.com, moderator of HeartlandDiaryUSA.com, and longtime editor of the Daily Interlake in Kalispell, Montana, where he was managing editor for many years. His book tracks media bias over the last 15 years, going back to the days of the Bush 43 presidency. And Mr. Mealy joins us now. Welcome to Liberty Nation Radio.
Thank you very much, Tim. Happy to be aboard.
I appreciate it. So let's start by drilling down on the title of your book, What If Everything You Know Is Fake? Are you implying that there's a conspiracy among the elite media to falsely portray the reality of America, or, as some have said, is such a conspiracy unnecessary because these elite media types all think the same way anyway?
Probably all of the above. Journalism is neither the problem nor the solution. It's really a symptom of the media matrix that I've proposed. And what that is, it's an information sphere that we're all living in. And we forget that it's not our native habitat. But in our information age that we exist in today, there's so much information that it's become almost irrelevant to us as people to figure out whether it's true, not true, important, not important. Everything inundates us on a daily basis to the point where journalists, just like everybody else, and possibly to a greater extent, are constantly, immersing themselves in information. And sometimes we forget to actually come up and breathe, look around and see where we're at. And so it becomes a kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy of doom that you just get sucked into this endless information flow without taking time to study it and find out what is real and what isn't real.
Now, Bush 43 consistently refused to respond to the persistent, vicious attacks from the elite media, totally unlike Donald Trump, who responds to everything. But Bush did win 2 terms, also, though, left office with approval numbers in the high 20s or low 30s. What does this say about the way that presidents have and should respond to media bias, do you think?
I think what we have come down to is that the fourth estate, as the media has called itself in the last couple of hundred years, feels that it has no checks and balances, that there's nothing that hinders it in its job, whereas they feel that they are the check and balance on government. And so that you've got this runaway train that becomes a law unto itself. And there's anytime anyone attacks it, they feel like they have been done wrong, but therefore they have no accountability.
As you see it, to what degree has President Trump and his persistent attacks on what he calls the fake news media, to what extent has that changed Americans' view and trust of the media, do you think?
Well, there's no doubt that the media is one of the least popular components of society and has been for many years. It didn't start with Trump. The journalists have generally had favorability ratings about the same level as Congress, which is in the low teens. So it isn't that Trump has has educated people about their distrust of the media, but he certainly crystallizes it. And again, we're living in a time when opinion and fact have become distorted to the point where no one, and I would include, all of us in the journalism business, can be 100% sure that we're getting the straight story from anyone. And Trump serves kind of as a drumbeat daily reminder that just because you read it, it isn't necessarily true.
You talk in your book, as you have here on our discussion, about false information being peddled by the media, fake news, commingling opinion with fact. Which of the false narratives do you think has been most damaging?
There's absolutely no reason to accept anything you're hearing. And one of the things, that I would say is, your slogan, Liberty Nation, is truth is making a comeback. But I would say that, what we need to remember is we're kind of like Scully and Mulder on the X-Files. We know the truth is out there, but finding it is going to be one of the most comprehensively difficult things that we've ever done. It's it is looking for the proverbial needle in a haystack. And I know you've done stuff on the tech world, the big tech takeover of our information, and there are forces at play here that are so big that we're basically living in a time of complete transition about what makes us human and how we respond to our environment and our daily living. Kids today probably in the course of being 10 years old have more information and more knowledge than Aristotle did when he died.
Let me close with this question. You've lived in Montana for more than 4 decades. That's part of flyover country and the voters most responsible for putting Donald Trump in the White House. Do you think these heartland and mountain state voters are as enthusiastic about Trump as they were in 2016? Less enthusiastic, or do they like him even more?
Media narrative right now is that Trump only has this small base of people that he can count on, and there's no way he can get reelected. The people are not going to tell the media that they have that 15% trust in what they really think. And I think with Trump's electoral magic, his campaign, persona, that he's going to be able to pull it out.
The book is The Media Matrix: What If Everything You Know Is Fake? And the author, Frank Mealy, has been our guest here on Liberty Nation Radio. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Mealy.
Thanks, Tim.